So this is the 2019 Higher Paper 1, question 1. It asks us to find the x-coordinates of the stationary point on a curve with this given equation here. Now one thing we have to remember is stationary point means there is no change in the point. It is that point where the curve essentially stops before it turns back on itself or continues on as a wave. What this means is that our rate of change, i.e. our derivative dy by dx, for the curve equals 0. So what we have to do is find the derivative of this, set it equal to 0 and solve it for x. The first thing, take the derivative of this, and as we've done in class, or we should have, we do term by term differentiation going along the curve. It's a nice simple equation, so we can just follow that technique. Derivative of the first term gives me 2x cubed. Remember, to differentiate, we take the power down in front of the term, reduce the power by 1. So that'll be 4 down here. 4 divided by 2 is 2. X then becomes x to the power of 3. We've then got take away, so bring the 3 down here, and we'll get 3 times 2, which is 6. That reduces down. We get 6x squared. What we then do is we take this, and we factorise it. Take out a common factor, which in this case is 2x squared. That's going to leave me with just x minus 3 in the bracket here. And what I know is that this here equals 0. So I need to find the solutions where this is equal to 0, and I've got two possible sets. Either this can be 0 or this can be 0. So what I can say is that 2x squared equals 0, or the x minus 3 equals 0. Solving both of these gives me x equals 0 and x equals 3. Now all the question asks for is the x-coordinate of the stationary point, so that's me solved the question. If it asked for the y point and then the full coordinate itself, I would simply substitute back into here each of these points here and get the relevant y associated with it. Then I could just write my coordinates. Job done. Nice straightforward question to start. This here would be a 4 marker. First mark you'd get for starting to differentiate. Second mark would then be completing your derivative and equating it to 0. Third mark would then be getting to this stage here with the factorised version. And then the fourth mark would be getting both of these here. Now one point to note is that if you stated dy by dx equals 0 here, and then differentiated and factorised without putting equal to 0, and then did these two here, you've implied you know that the stationary point is where the derivative is equal to 0. So stating this to begin with shows you know what you're going on about, and that there will set you up with a mark because it's setting you on the right track. So all these little intricacies that we need to make sure that we understand. This is where all the little marks come from and get lost in a question like this.